What is the perfect fighting game? That question has haunted fighting game fans for decades. We all have our to-go-to picks, the ones we master, the ones we button mash with friends. But even as we praise these legendary titles, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, deep down, we know they aren't perfect. Every patch note, every rage quit, and every tier list reminds us of that. So why do we hold them in such high standards? Perfection is subjective in fighting games. For some, it's about balance. For others, it's style, it's movement, or story. But one thing's for sure, these games are iconic. So today, let's dig into why none of these games are perfect. And yet, they continue to define what we think perfect could look like. Grab your fight sticks because this is about to get competitive. Mortal Kombat is the most cinematic fighting game franchise, hands down. From the original arcade days to the modern days, NetherRealm Engines, MK, has always leaned into shock value, brutal storytelling, and sheer style. The franchise evolved past just fighting. It became pop culture phenomenon, from X-rays to fatal blows. MK consistently pushes the visual boundaries. It's a game where casuals thrive in story mode, and diehards memorize frame data. It's bold, it's bloody, and it's unforgettable. But behind the spine-ripping theatrics, there are some real competitive issues. Mortal Kombat has always struggled with consistency and balance. Some characters are overtuned, others feel like filler. The combo system can feel stiff to some and way too generous to others. At high levels, you often see complaints about hitboxes, wake-up options, and input delays. MK doesn't always reward deep fundamentals the way other games do, but it's theatrically and accessibility that keeps it alive. It's the blockbuster movie of fighting games, flawed, but fun as hell. Tekken is where fighting games get cerebral. It's not just about pressing buttons fast. It's about movement, spacing, and reads. With over 2 decades of refinement, Tekken has mastered the feeling of deep layered combat. Sidestepping as a 3D dynamic that no other top fighter really captures. When you land a high damaging combo in Tekken, it feels earned. You outplayed your opponent, mentally and mechanically. Plus, the character variety from martial artists to bears and robots keep the game visually fresh. But with all that depth comes a steep price: accessibility. Tekken's learning curve is one of the steepest in the genre. Even understanding the basic flow, like how to move, punish, and break throws, can take new players weeks. Legacy skill is real in Tekken. If you weren't around since Tekken 5 or earlier, it can feel like you're speaking a different language. While that high ceiling is a paradise for diehards, it turns away more casual fans, making it hard to call Tekken perfect for everyone. Street Fighter is the DNA of almost every fighting game that followed, from special move inputs to zoning and neutral. Street Fighter sets the rules for how fighting games work. At its core, it's about spacing, footsies, and precise execution. Every hit feels intentional, every mistake punishable. In a game where you learn the fundamentals, not just a flash. And that's why the FGC treats it like gospel. Street Fighter always pioneered the idea of global competition, laying the groundwork for EVO and Capcom Cup. But for all its legacy, Street Fighter isn't without its controversies. Balance has been inconsistent between versions. Street Fighter V, for instance, launched with shallow content and questionable mechanics, while Street Fighter VI made huge leaps in accessibility and online play. Still, there's always debate. Are new mechanics diluting the skill gap, or are they helping more people enjoy the game? Some players find it too safe or even bland compared to flashier titles. But whether you love it or critique it, Street Fighter demands respect. It's the one you don't skip. Here's where it gets real. What is perfection in a fighting game? Is it perfect balance? Because no game has it. Even the most patched fighters have top tier and low tiers. Is it content? Story? Online netcode? Everyone has a different answer. Some players want brutal competition. Others just want to dunk on their friends with their favorite characters. What's perfect? What perfect means in this genre depends entirely on what you value. But one thing's for sure, these three games each offer something the other don't. MK gives you the spectacle. Tekken gives you the tech. Street Fighter gives you the structure. They all succeed and fail in different ways. No game is complete, but maybe perfection isn't about covering all bases. It's about doing one thing exceptionally well. And these three, they've each mastered their lane. I took this question to the community, Reddit, Twitter, forums, and the answers was just as diverse as I expected. Some said their perfect game is one with rollback netcode, solid offline content, and a well-designed newcomer. Others argue that a perfect fighter should have legacy skill and cater to veterans. Then there were those who cared more about style and vibe, cool characters, great music, tight animations. But one thing stuck with me, and I quote, "The perfect fighting game is the one I keep coming back to. Even after I rage quit, that hit hard. Because sometimes the perfect game isn't flawless. It's the one that still excites you after hundreds of matches. It's the game that makes you feel something, whether that's pride, hype, or heartbreak. That emotional connection might be the only perfection we ever really needed." So let's bring it back to the original question. What is the perfect fighting game? Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter. None are flawless. They all frustrate us, but they all inspire us. Whether you're a casual or a pro, these games shaped your skills, your rivalries, and your passion. So maybe perfection isn't the end goal. Maybe it's the pursuit that keeps the genre alive. And maybe, just maybe, your perfect game is the one that makes you pick up the controller even when you said you were done. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button for more fighting game content and tell me in the comments what is your perfect fighting game and why. Until then, this is God CO, and I catch y'all in the next video.